Welcome back. For years, many Nigerians have watched viral videos promising instant wealth, supernatural riches, and miraculous financial breakthroughs. But where is the line between traditional spiritual practice, deception, and criminal conduct? Can someone be jailed simply for claiming to possess supernatural powers? Or does the law require something more? Those questions came sharply into focus after an Awka High Court sentenced popular native doctor Onyeze Okocha, widely known as Onyeze Jesus, to 6 years in prison and imposed a 20 million fine. The judgment is already being described as one of the most significant outcomes of Anambra State's ongoing crackdown on fake spiritual practitioners. The Awka High Court delivered its judgment after Onyeze Okocha has spent approximately 1 year and 6 months in detention. He was prosecuted under the Anambra State Homeland Security Law 2025 on allegations connected to promoting practices associated with money rituals. The case attracted nationwide attention because of Onyeze Jesus' popularity on social media, where he frequently appeared in videos making extraordinary claims about his spiritual abilities. Throughout the trial, prosecutors argued that those public representations violated provisions of the state security legislation. Delivering judgments, Justice Jude Obiora carefully distinguished between what prosecutors successfully proved and what they failed to establish. According to the court, the defendant admitted that he was the individual appearing in the viral videos and acknowledged ownership of the social media accounts used to publish them. The judge found that the evidence established that Onyeze Jesus publicly claimed to possess the ability to make people wealthy through his spiritual powers. That admission formed an important part of the court's findings. However, the court also made another important observation. Justice Obiora ruled that allegations involving ritual killings or so-called money doubling were not established before the court. According to the judgment, prosecutors did not present sufficient evidence proving those more serious allegations, and no witnesses testified that they had personally benefited from such claims supernaturally practices. By making that distinction, the court separated allegations that remained unproven from the conduct it found to have been established by the available evidence. After considering the case, the court sentenced Onyeze Jesus to 6 years imprisonment and imposed a fine of 20 million naira. The sentence represents one of the highest profile convictions arising from Anambra State's campaign against individuals accused of using deceptive spiritual claims to exploit members of the public. The case forms part of a broader initiative launched by the state government to address practices authorities believe contribute to criminality, fraudulent enrichment schemes, and insecurity. An emotional scene unfolded immediately after the judgment. According to reports from the courtroom, Onyeze Jesus broke down in tears and knelt before the court while pleading for mercy. He described the conviction as his first criminal offense and appealed to the judge to show compassion during sentencing. In his emotional plea, he told the court that he had been in custody since February of the previous year and said he no longer knew the whereabouts of his family and twin children, whom he described as financially dependent on him. He also claimed that 3 widows who relied on his support had died during the period of his detention because there was no one left to care for them. Those remarks reflected the deeply personal consequences he said the case had brought upon his family and those who depended on him. While emotionally powerful, the plea did not alter the court's final decision, which had already been reached after considering the evidence presented during the proceeding. The developments did not end with Onyeze Jesus alone. On the same day, the courts also dealt with other high-profile matters linked to Anambra State's wider enforcement campaign. 7 individuals described by authorities as suspected fake pastors who were arrested last month were ordered to remain in custody until their respective cases are determined by the courts. Meanwhile, another suspected fake native doctor, popularly known as Eke Hits, had his own matter adjourned until September 26 after both the prosecution and defense submitted their written legal arguments. These cases form part of a much broader campaign initiated by the Anambra State government against individuals accused of using false spiritual claims to deceive members of the public. State authorities have repeatedly argued that fraudulent spiritual practices encourage criminal behavior, exploit vulnerable people, and contribute to the spread of dangerous beliefs surrounding ritual wealth. Supporters of the campaign say stronger enforcement is necessary to protect citizens from exploitation and discourage criminal activities disguised as religious or traditional practices. At the same time, the prosecutions have also generated wider discussions about the limits of religious freedom, traditional beliefs, and freedom of expression. While many Nigerians support firm action against fraud and exploitation, others argue that law enforcement must carefully distinguish between legitimate religious or traditional practices and criminal conduct supported by credible evidence. The court judgment in this case appears to reflect that balance, by rejecting allegations that were not proven while imposing punishments based on conduct the court found had been established during the trial. As the remaining cases continue through the judicial system, many Nigerians will be watching closely to see whether similar convictions follow. Will the ongoing crackdown significantly reduce fraudulent spiritual practices across the states? Or will it simply drive such activities underground? Those questions remain unanswered. What is already clear, however, is that Anambra State has signaled its determination to use the court to confront practices it believes strengthen public safety and social order. The conviction of Onyeze Jesus marks another significant chapter in that continuing campaign. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this report informative, kindly like, share, and subscribe for more news reports. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next reports.